Do you think a bear stands any chance of winning a fight against a whale? What would happen if an elephant decided to face off against a rhino? When both the rivals are outlandishly heavy, strong, and deadly, the resulting battle can get brutal and merciless in the wild. But they are surely amazing to watch. And that's why in today's video, we will show you 15 of the most epic battles fought between heavyweight animals. So, without any further ado, let's get started. Number 15. Elephant vs. Hippo. Elephants are the largest land animals roaming the earth today, with their weights varying between 5,000 and 15,000 pounds. They are arguably one of the most powerful beings in the world, closely followed by the hippos. Both are aware of their supremacy and make good use of their strength in a fight. A single elephant enters the waterhole and decides it wants the whole place just for itself. The tusker charges at the huge mass of hippos gathered around and sways its trunk aggressively to clear off any hippos coming in its path. The hippos show no interest in messing with the angry rival and scatter to stay away from the elephant. This hippo is on a mission to annoy the elephant standing in front of it. It tries to bite off a chunk off the elephant's back, but fails to get a good grip in every attempt. The elephant takes no heed of this disturbance and shows its power by sending the stalker away with some taps on its head with the tail and a slight push with its hind leg. In this clip, we see hippos wandering with an elephant nearby. Initially, the tusker seems to be minding its own business, but suddenly it takes offense to the hippos lurking around and charges at them, sending the hippos away. Although the hippos are incredibly strong animals themselves, messing with an angry tusker is never a good idea. Number 14. Rhino vs. Hippo. Hippos are known for their bad temper and unpredictable behaviors. They can flip out at any moment and attack the contenders. The enormous animals can inflict deadly injuries on any opponent, but the rhinos are built differently. Apart from their strength, they are equipped with a horn and a thick hide that acts as a great shield. This hippo sends a clear warning to the rhino with a gaping mouth and deadly canines before attacking it. The rhino tries to defend itself with a severed horn, but the hippo quickly takes control and throws the rival off balance, dragging it through the water and attacking the belly of the rhino, leaving it gravely injured. Here, a rhino and a hippo are fighting for dominance. The hippo struggles to get a good bite off the rhino as he gets poked in the neck and mouth with the sharp horn every time it tries to land a bite. Even when the fight shifts to the land, the hippo fails to get past the horns that are targeted directly at it. Realizing the fatality of provoking the rhino any further, the hippo backs off and only focuses on dodging the incoming attacks. Number 13. Elephant vs. Rhino. Both rhinos and elephants are more than capable of taking the other one out when a fight breaks out. They are more likely to stay out of each other's path, but a dispute over food or dominance can lead to an imminent battle between these two giants. This elephant gets too close to the rhinos, which clearly makes the two uncomfortable. The rhinos hold their ground, but do not initiate any attack until the elephant tries to show its dominance and pushes them back. One of the rhinos flips out and attacks the elephant, throwing its trunk in the air with its horns. The intimidated tusker falls back and lingers around the duo, but maintains a safe distance at all times. A rhino parent traveling with its calf comes face to face with an elephant. A protective parent can get extremely dangerous when provoked, which is why the elephant hesitates to mess around with them and only sends out intimidating signs, like throwing its trunk and legs in the air occasionally. The rhino slowly walks past the elephant, but consistently keeps a close eye on its actions. In a similar confrontation, the elephant confronts a rhino and its calf by the waterhole. The parent retreats to protect the calf, but then decides to take control of the situation and comes charging at the elephant, forcing it to fall back. After sending out a strong message, the rebellious rhino heads off with its young one in another direction. Number 12. Polar bear vs. walrus. With limited food options around, life in the Arctic can be incredibly challenging for the animals surviving there. Polar bears often try to hunt down walruses for all the fat and flesh in store, but these marine giants are no easy prey either. After foraging for hours in the ice, this famished polar bear comes across a walrus stranded on the ice. Expecting it to be sleeping or exhausted, the polar bear approaches the animal, but just as it was about to attack, the walrus rises and turns to face the bear. Even in single combat, this walrus is more than capable of defending itself. The predator contemplates the attack and eventually decides to take off without attacking the prey. This desperate polar bear attacks a huge massive walrus, and though it initially struggles to get a grip over all that blubber, it finally manages to take one down. Some walruses are immensely heavy and lack agility on the land. There is little they can do to evade an attack in such a situation. The downed victim is brutally mutilated with its flesh ripped off, and the enormous cadaver even causes a rift between the other bears that join to share the meal. Number 11. Gorilla versus Gorilla. Gorillas are gigantic primates that display extreme aggression when provoked or threatened. They can make the perfect use of their gigantic stature and unnatural strength to dominate the others in a fight. Due to some unknown dispute, two silverback gorillas break out into a vicious fight, throwing their hands at each other. Each blow is strong enough to take down the other. One of them is grounded almost immediately, and after a brief and intense stare down, the rivals clash again as the others follow the fighting members around, perhaps interested to see which of them wins. Number 10. Orca versus Elephant Seal. Even though elephant seals are vicious predators themselves, they are no match against the crafty and powerful killer whales. Orcas are smart hunters that commit minimal errors to ensure the success of their hunting mission. They frequently prey on large animals, like seals, but not all seals can become an easy victim. Two orcas close in on an unsuspecting elephant seal relaxing on the shore. The seal quickly detects the danger when they are only a few feet away. It turns to face the killer whales to track their movement and slowly back up. One of the orcas swiftly changes direction, while the other one waits for a few moments on the shore before retreating. Number 9. Bison versus Bear. Since both bears and bisons have a lot of similarities in their strength and stamina, a battle between these two animals can take unexpected turns at any given moment. There are very limited contenders in the wild that can successfully intimidate a bear, but the bison is one of them. This bear is putting all its strength to take down the bison, but the contender is equally strong and resists the force of the attacks. The bear clings to the bison and continues to assault it by biting and clawing at its back. The bison breaks free for a few moments and charges at the bear, only to get captured again. Even after taking the fight to the water, the bear does not show any sign of letting go, and neither does the bison accept defeat. This bear is visibly smaller than the stalkers, because of which it decides to avoid any sort of altercation with them. The bison tries to ambush the bear, but the alleged victim quickly takes to the woods, closely followed by the bison. Number 8. Elephant versus Elephant. Elephants primarily use their tusks and trunk to attack and defend. Mating season brings out the worst in the male elephants, when even a casual fight between them can turn into something brutal and deadly within a couple of minutes. Two giants emerge from the forest and immediately attack each other with their tusks. They tangle their tusks, and one of them tries to throw the other one off balance. Each of them tries to suppress the other with sheer force, but faces similar retaliation from the other end. In a similar situation, these tuskers confront and launch terrifying attacks. The one with the longer tusk evidently holds control over the combat and forces the rival to fall back. The contender retreats without provoking any further challenges and gets chased on its way out. In this clip, two hulking elephants are fighting it out to establish dominance. They wrap their tusks and relentlessly push the other one back with full force. The prolonged stare down is probably to buy more time to track the next move of its opponent before striking. The combat continues for several minutes before the rivals call it quits. Number 7. Polar bear versus beluga whale. Polar bears have evolved as predators over the years and are capable of amazing feats. They are skilled enough to pull off a hunt against unimaginable prey like the beluga whales. But apart from being huge and hefty, whales can easily outrun a bear in water, giving them a tough fight on most occasions. The belugas swimming near the shore expose numerous scars on their body inflicted by the polar bears hunting above. Whenever they sense a bear approaching, the whales go underwater, but they cannot stay like that for long, and the bear prowling above is aware of that. It awaits for the belugas to come up to take a breather and lunges at them the moment they resurface. However, the belugas narrowly escape the bear and swims away before the polar bear can nab one of them. Number 6. Bear versus bear. Bears apply multiple tactics in a fight to ensure their rivals are intimidated right from the start. The muscular hulks stand up on their hind legs to appear bigger and scarier. Food, dominance, and mating are some of the major reasons that instigate a fight between these muscular giants. An imminent fight breaks out between two grizzlies when one of them approaches and throws an open challenge to the other one. They get on their hind legs and fight it off with their hands. The one provoking the fight is clearly bigger than the rival and mauls it to the ground, but the tables quickly turn as the opponent takes control and forces the other one to back off. In this again, two adult grizzly bears engage in a fierce fight and viciously try to bite each other in the process. They use their claws to push, hold off, and inflict injuries on the opponent until both get equally exhausted and part ways after mutually deciding to retire from the combat. Number 5. Hippo versus buffalo. Hippos can be invasive and instigating at times. They are aware of their power and take up unnecessary challenges against random opponents, buffaloes being one of them. But buffaloes are not an opponent to be taken lightly either. A hippo and a buffalo herd are peacefully sharing a water hole until one of the buffaloes and the hippo take a sudden dislike towards one another. As the hippo opens its mouth to warn the buffalo, the latter lowers its head to point the horn at the hippo. But when the hippo refutes the warning and charges with full rage, the buffalo has no other option than to turn back and run for its life. Number 4. Yak versus yak. Yaks are remarkably sturdy and strong. Apart from these characteristics, they are also equipped with horns that are actively used in attacking the opponent in a fight and a furry coat that protects them from serious injuries. Two yaks break out in a furious fight. One of them conquers the higher ground, giving it a vantage point over the other. Soon, the yak below comes around and attacks the other. They drag each other around and lock their horns, occasionally attempting to stab the other with it. After a brief altercation, both pull back and go separate ways to nullify the fight. Now, let's jump into the middle of a brutal fight. Two yaks viciously attack each other. They tilt their heads to make a successful hit, but the other applies a similar tactic to evade the attack. At one point, the black yak hooks the rival, lifts it slightly in the air, and pushes it several steps back. Number 3. Shark versus seal. Sharing the same habitat with the shark exposes the seals to a constant threat. Seals can skillfully evade shark attacks, but are frequently hunted down by these predators. However, there are times when seals can get the better of the predator-prey game. A disturbance in the water unleashes a shocking scene between a shark and seal. The two are engaged in a struggle, and before long, we see the seal throwing the shark several feet in the air before grabbing it again. This unusual fight continues for a long time before we get a glimpse of the seal mutilating the shark right in the middle of the ocean. Number 2. Bull versus yak. Bull and yak share a lot of physical similarities pertaining to strength and defenses. They apply identical techniques in a fight, which is why it becomes difficult for each of the parties to launch a surprise attack on the other. In a sudden fit of rage, a bull and a yak charge and attack each other. For the first few minutes, the bull takes control of the battle, pushing the yak backwards, but the latter quickly turns the table and forces its strength upon the bull. In the end, the yak manages to get to the side of the bull and attempts to stab it, but the bull dodges the attack in the nick of time and escapes the vicious attacker. Number 1. Elephant seal versus elephant seal. Male elephant seals often challenge each other to fights during the mating seasons to claim dominance over the females. They can get into brutal and ruthless wars and inflict deadly injuries until one of them accepts defeat. A male elephant seal stands guard over a female, but soon, another male comes to challenge the former one. Understanding the imminent danger, the female quickly escapes, and the two males waste no time in engaging in a brutal war. They bite and snap at each other relentlessly until the other male accepts defeat and the challenger comes out a clear winner. A similar cause forces two males to engage in a fight, and only a few minutes into the battle, the opponents bite each other fiercely. Their sharp canines cut through the thick skin, forcing out blood from the open wounds of both the contenders. That's all for today, folks. Which of the above battles did you find the most intriguing? Let us know in the comments down below. Plus, don't forget to like and share this video with your friends and family. To get more such amazing videos, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and press the bell icon so that you can get notified every time we come with a new video. Have a great day, and we hope to see you soon in another exciting video.